Welcome back, everybody, to another episode in this Ascension series by yours truly, Ascension Coach, Sam. And I do have I wanted to bring through a specific topic today that I feel like it's very near and dear to my heart. I just decided to use this one instead of my little headset. I'm going to be calling this the Ascending Family, because we're going to talk about family today. We're going to talk about the energies of Ascension that revolve around the family unit. I'm going to share a little bit of what I've been seeing, a little bit about what I've been experiencing lately. How Ascension affects us, affects families, affects the family unit, how it is shifting things, and how it is supporting in the entire evolution of this very intrinsic and very, very twisted, very karmic and dense energy that we come into, right into this planet. I did my clearing meditation for the day. I have my clearing series this week, every day, and we dive deep into a lot of core root stuff. And so today, family came through, and it's interesting because earlier this morning, that was what had come through for me. Family stuff. What's going on, what's happening, what I'm seeing, what I'm sensing within each family unit. Sorry. Just know that I will be a little distracted by kitties. And so we're just gonna open up, and we're just gonna bring through some of these frequencies and some of these energies to really expand upon, because this is hitting a lot of us, and it's going to continue to hit globally, collectively, massively, like mass collectives, and I think it already has. In fact, I feel like every single person, even like 2020 is the year that started it all, right? 2020 just was that like catapult. It was a catalyst for a lot of things that needed to come into alignment. I don't know if my hair is, if you're hearing my hair, and so every year it increases, and every year there's new things, there's new realizations, there's new themes coming up within the family unit. And so again, I'm seeing things, I'm seeing patterns, I'm seeing themes all across my reality and other people's reality. And so I'm gonna quantum jump into this, like I always do. These ascension energies, frequencies, the whole ascension process is meant to tilt the family unit. Okay, everyone will experience this differently, but because there's so much cording, there's so many ties, there's so many attachments within the family unit. What Ascension is basically bringing everything up. It's meant to bring everything up. We are meant to see and feel all of these deep intrinsic cords and ties and attachments that we have towards every member of our family. Why? Because when things are attached, when there's an attachment to anything, there is a level of enslavement. Okay, you can't be fully free. If you are attached to someone, if I were to be handcuffed to my mom or to my dad, I wouldn't be able to go to the bathroom in peace. kind of, you get the point. I know it's silly, but this attachment is very deep, and it's deeply rooted within every single one of us. So everything about Ascension is bringing all of these things up, bringing the emotions that we haven't been willing, haven't been able, haven't even really, we haven't been able to feel at some level for whatever reason. The emotion, the heavy emotion, is what keeps the attachment intact. It's what keeps the attachment. It's what keeps the attachment alive. It's what continues to feed that attachment. And with so much light coming through, with everything shifting and evolving, Gaia as a planet, as a living consciousness, isn't able to fully, is not going to allow this planet to continue to be like a slave planet. And so everything is coming up to the surface so that we can continually break ourselves free, break through all of these deep attachments. The thing with family, though, is that there's many different 3D programming belief systems that are rooted within that separation consciousness that says things like, it's like it distorts everything. So when we talk about like a family first, when we talk about, you always have to be there, you always have to, be there for mom and dad, or be there for family. You always have to, put family first before yourself. Like, all of those are very distorted frequencies that keep everyone bound to the old, that keep everyone living hell, that keep everyone under this state of unconsciousness that separates us. This separates us. Okay? So I'm seeing a lot of things being triggered. We're being triggered by family members, right? By close people that are within close proximity, and it's part of the process. I say this: your family will always be your biggest triggers. I know, they agree. Sometimes they play rough with one another. And as I'm talking about this, we've been playing really rough with one another too, as a family. So right now what's happening is everything is being shaken up. Everything that we still have inside, all of the emotional attachments, all of the old programs, all of our aspects are coming up to the surface so we can feel them. Are coming up to the surface to be released. This is the biggest thing that I want you to remember. When something comes up for you, is because it's in the verge of leaving. It's not coming up to attract it towards you. That happens when you resist it, Because when you add resistance to an emotion or to an energy that you don't want to feel, you add a weight on it. It's like you literally add a paperweight on it. And you keep it active within your field, which makes it more prone, what makes you more prone to experience a reality that matches that frequency. Okay, so any time something comes up for you is because it's ready to be seen, it's ready to shift, it's ready to be cleared out. Okay, it's not here to punish you. We're the ones that do that. We're the ones that allow energies to become really heavy. It's all us. We're all doing this. And so I want to open you up a little bit more to how we can take whatever is happening within your family dynamic, taking it and taking it as a key, because actually it is. It's a key that you get to choose to take, you get to grab, and you get to unlock more things from within you. In fact, as you continue to take everything that happens to you as a gift and as a key, and you start to use that key and you start to open yourself up and open up the treasure and open up the chest, your skeleton, your closet full of skeletons. There's going to be there's a deep treasure hidden beneath all of that. So it's a beautiful opportunity that you gift yourself with. You open yourself up. You start to see and feel more things about what's going on. Okay? Allow yourself to let go of any sort of judgment that you have in regards to anything, any emotion that comes up for you regarding a family member, regarding a situation, regarding anything. It's just energy. Okay? We will go through, in fact, we have to go through every single emotion within the emotional scale. You and I and everyone has buried every emotion known to man inside of us, which means that we need to open ourselves and give ourselves permission to feel absolutely everything. The hurt, the hate, the pain, the distress, the anger, the judgment, the fear. All of those things will come up, and you probably will feel those about every single member of your family at some point, no matter who it is. Okay? This isn't your light aspect. Your light aspect just is. Okay? It just is. It lives within that unity. It lives within that remembrance that every person is itself in another body. So we're talking more about the ego aspect. The ego aspect lives within that state of emotional suppression. So it's your ego aspect that will feel certain things about certain people. And you don't even really have to know exactly why you're feeling a certain emotion towards this particular family member. Okay, at the beginning I say just allow yourself to feel the energy. You don't have to know exactly the exact emotion. You don't need to know exactly why you're feeling this way. A lot more information will start to pour through you, and you'll start to feel and you'll start to see, like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm feeling this because of a gazillion reasons that I can see more of now. But at the beginning, in fact, at the beginning and always, remember that it's more important for you to feel the energy than for you to let your linear mind describe it, analyze it, rationalize it. Excuse me. It's more important for you to connect to the energy of it. It's more important for you to connect to the energy than to the words, right? The words that describe the emotion or the energy. And sometimes it's backwards. So everything that I say, take it with a grain of salt, because it just depends. Everyone is different, and everyone does have certain patterns. So if you are someone that hasn't gone through that yet, of like, identifying the emotion, identifying the feeling, or identifying the belief, then that may be where you are. And so opening up to recognizing, oh, I feel hurt, or you know what, I really do feel mad. I feel anger. Because actually that was me like 3 years ago or so. I didn't realize that I had never really openly admitted that I was feeling certain emotions. Especially anger, especially like the hurt. And when I realized that, it was this huge awareness, huge revelation, because I realized that I wasn't being honest with myself. Because I don't, there's a lot of reasons, but I didn't want to admit how I was feeling. All right, and so, lo and behold, when things started to open up for me and I started to feel things and I started to recognize the emotion and I started to, put it into words, and I started to admit to myself, this is how I actually feel. That was huge. And then coming into terms with, I actually feel this emotion towards people that I always loved, right? Mom, dad, family, whatever. And that was an even bigger realization of all of the emotions that I had so deeply, deeply, deeply buried inside of me that I had no clue that I had. So you will feel absolutely every emotion about every single member of your family. And I want to reassure you that it's valid, that it's actually pretty normal, and that you're not the only one. This is such a normal part of the process, especially when you start to realize that there's so many aspects that you've been, and there's so many things that you've lived, that at some level everything was emotionally suppressed. Everything was emotionally suppressed. So it just takes you deeper into a new level of self-realization, self-discovery. Which, by the way, this is what Ascension is all about. Becoming more and more and more aware of more versions of yourself, of more ego aspects of yourself, of more higher self aspects of yourselves. You're infinite. You are absolutely infinite. There are an infinite versions of yourself, and there will always be, because you are everything. This is why this is a journey. This is why Ascension just becomes your new way of living. Or expansion. Ascension and then expansion. And then you just keep on expanding into more highest versions of yourself, and you continue to see all of the lower versions of yourself. And your family is the key to all of this. Excuse me, in a deeper and deeper way, and deeper levels, because they came to show us, and we gave them this role to play. We gave them the most distorted. We gave them the biggest keys. We gave them the biggest roles. Part of those roles are our most distorted aspect of ourselves, that we are very resistant, and we are very it's very hard for us to see. That is literally the human family right now, as it exists, as it is used to support us right now in our evolution. So it just is what it is, and it is like this for every single person. Seriously. And I come from a family unit that was, if you look at it from afar, it was great, it was beautiful, somewhat quote unquote, not I want to say perfect, but not perfect, but yet it was peaceful and loving, which it was. But underneath the surface, it was a lot more. Underneath the surface, energetically, boy oh boy, there lies the distortions, the manipulation, the abuse, everything. And so there is, every single person comes with those energies, no matter what your family looks like, no matter how no matter how your childhood looked, no matter how your family seemed to be, no matter what you remember, what you don't remember. This is very, very normal for every single person on this planet right now. Your family is your human family. By the way, everyone's family. We talk about human family, we talk about soul family, but technically speaking, everyone is soul family. Your blood family is the one that will push you and will activate the deepest and the most unconscious and subconscious distortions and the deepest levels of your ego. Soul family feels a bit softer, which is part of the reason why sometimes we'll gravitate more to the soul family than to the old human karmic family. And yet within your soul family there are still triggers, there's still, distortions. Oh, there you are. Anyway, all of this is bringing us back into pure alignment to self, because the deeper aligned and the deeper connected we are to self, the more our human relationships, our human family relationships change, human relationships change, the more our family unit changes too. And there's a lot of things that have changed, within my there's a lot of things that I've gone through within the family unit in the last 5 years, like leaving, going through a separation, coming back, reuniting, going through deeper levels, supporting my parents right now in their trek of the journey, and now feeling deep, getting into a space where there's things that will shift, there's things that will change, there will be a moment where I will go on my own again. Anyway, a lot of transitions as well within the family unit. A lot of transitions and a lot of separation is what's actually happening right now. And this is such a normal part of the process. However, the more you open yourself up to every situation that you're going through and to every experience, the more you're going to realize the gift, the more you're going to receive the gift, and the more you willingly go deeper into your own stuff with everything that occurs, with everything that you're shown, and the smoother things will become. I can guarantee you that because I'm in it. However, I was just kind of going through this, right now, in the bathtub. There's a lot of things that I get to. My body gets to really relax, and I'm grateful that I have this opportunity right now because I don't have a bathtub down in Mexico. But I went through I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4 maybe times within the last 4 years where I went through it. Hi. You guys keep growling at each other. And no wonder I'm talking about family unit, of course. Yes, there will be growling. There was so much that I had to work through, so much that I had to feel. Just layers and layers and layers. And I would have the bathtub would be like my haven, because that's where I let everything out. That's where I would pour out my heart. That's where I would cry my eyes out. With everything that was being triggered and everything that was being activated within me because of where I was, because I was with, blood family. And again, after 4 years, everything has shifted, and now it's like, oh my God, so much more peaceful, so much more softer. Everything's in this flow, and I'm much more conscious, and I'm allowing light to come through, but also stepping in and stepping through as a higher self, and bringing through that, rebalancing the field. It's beyond what I thought it was going to be, beyond what I can sometimes describe, but I can tell you that it will happen. And we're just even kind of in the beginning of it. And talk a lot about this year because it just feels really significant, being this 9, a big closure and a big beginning month, year, with it being the 9 universal year. But there's so much more in the horizon. There's so much more that will continue to expand. Wow, that's so fascinating. My little kitties. Hey. Really, hey. Anyway, super fascinating energies brought to you by these kitties that, no coincidence, that's the energy that I'm sharing with you, and so they definitely are feeling it. So anyway, to wrap it up for you guys, continue to open up more. Okay, when we talk about open, when we talk about just allow, when we talk about all of these different energies that come through, you can never do this enough. You can never do this enough. We can never do, we can never just oh yeah, I already did it, and I never have to do it again. No, you just never stop. You never stop doing this. This becomes a new way. Always staying wide open, always staying, always expanding, always connecting, always allowing yourself to feel. Allowing yourself to feel things in that moment at some level. And again, family will trigger so much. human family, blood family will trigger so much. That's their role right now. That's what we agreed. That's part of their purpose and how they serve. And so breathe. You're not the only one. Everyone has human blood family distortions to go through and to feel into. But you're not alone. And when I say that, I mean breathe and connect and visualize more light coming through, because this is a version of yourself that knows exactly what to do and how to do it. Okay, this is a part of you that clears a deeper level, that goes into your cellular DNA and really starts to shift at a deeper and deeper and deeper layer. And this is key. It's not just clearing, it's not just from your mind, it's not just visualizing. Yes, that does support. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying let your light, higher self, body take over, because this is the aspect of yourself that will go deep, deep, deep into root into DNA. And this is where the magic starts to really happen. So, sending you much love. You're welcome to share what's been going on in your reality, what's been going on in your, what you've been going through within your own family unit. You're welcome to share. And I'm gonna see what these kitties are up to. Send you all much love. If you would like to join us in this week's clearing meditation series, you're more than welcome to. I will put more in the comments and description. And if you'd like to receive more one-on-one support, you're more than welcome to also support yourself in that way through a private session with me where we dive deep. So leaving you with that, sending you much love. Until next time.